Good day. Find this sheet in your package of notes, and we're going to throw a lot of vocabulary at it. So you may want to make flashcards after this, recopy your notes, get a handle on these words. If you do, chemistry will be a lot easier. So let's get rolling. First blank we fill in is the word period. Period corresponds to a row, and in terms of the atom, it corresponds to electron shell. Down here by chemical family, a column, that means the up-down part of the periodic table, that's known as a group. Any element in the same group will have the same number of outer electrons. So the alkali metals all have one outer electron, they're group 1. If you look at any element under oxygen, it will have 6 outer electrons because it's group 6. It's that simple, although they give it to you in Roman numerals. So elements gain or lose electrons to become isoelectronic with the nearest noble gas. So that's a nice 25-cent word. Isoelectronic, you have to write out again, means having the same electron arrangement. So you can see electrons in the word, that makes sense, and iso means the same. You might have seen this isosceles triangle in math, and that just means two sides of a triangle are the same. We have something called the Octet Rule. Oct means 8. October should be 8th month of the year. An octopus has 8 arms, essentially, if we want to use that term. And we have octagons, and octagons, like a stop sign, have 8 sides. So we've got to pop the number in 8 right in there. Now, an atom has no net charge. That means number of protons equals the number of electrons. So that means it is a neutral atom. But if we have more electrons than protons, we get a negative ion. And if we have more protons than electrons, we get a positive ion. So nonmetals gain electrons to make negative ions, and metals like to lose electrons, and they will form positive ions. They end up by losing, it's a positive. Next thing we look at, and remember pause if I go too quickly, electron arrangement. The noble gases are stable. It means they're perfect the way they are. They don't need to change. They have a very stable arrangement of electrons. They don't want to gain or lose. Metals, on the other hand, are not stable, and they tend to lose electrons, and therefore they're going to form the positive ions. They're going to be positive because if you're losing electrons, you're losing something that has a negative charge. It leaves behind more positive charge. Once you know that for metals, nonmetals have to be opposite. Instead of losing, they have to gain. Instead of forming positive ions, they will form negative ions. And if metals and nonmetals are close enough, they are trying to become isoelectronic with the nearest noble gas. So that's the first side done, and we'll carry on in our next video. And this looks like it'll be a 3-part video to throw a lot of terms at you. So make sure it's making sense.